one of the, I guess, Basset mix abandoned in Haleville. It's her brother, and her sister, and then she's got 6 puppies in the car. Oh, look how sweet.
Good morning.
On a one-eyed
Gotta
baby.
get up there. It's a one-eye baby.
One-eye baby?
See here.
Hold her, and I'll get the,
Introduce yourself.
I am Casey Roberson with Shoals Animal Advocates. All I do is arrange puppies and dogs and cats and kittens to get to rescue and get them there.
So there's Crimson's 6 babies.
Are they not adorable?
They are precious. They're about 2 weeks old, living under a tarp in Haleville, and a lady was taking care of them, but of course that was not a good situation. So we had them taken to Russellville Animal Clinic, where they've been taking care of them for the last about week and a half or so.
You know how many we're taking today?
Total, let's see, 5, 6, 13, 16, I think. 22. Who's the other 5?
I got 6, counting Faith, her 4 pups, and Glenn.
Right.
Her and her 6.
Right.
This one.
Yeah. Darlin,
her 2, and the litter of 6.
The litter of 6 is going 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
22.
Do we need tougher laws when it comes to animal neglect?
Takes a lot of work to transport, doesn't it?
It does. It's a lot of work. You have to get everything lined and their water set up and make sure nobody's too close to each other.
So let me ask you something, Casey. Have you been putting money out of your own pocket for the gas?
I spend somewhere between $400 and $800 a month saving all these dogs doing gas.
How much a month?
About $400 to $800.
Out of your own pocket?
Out of my own pocket.
We're going to have to do something about that.
And animal control officers tell me they feel nearly overwhelmed when it comes to investigating these types of cases. They say it's an issue that they're faced with daily. At first glance, these are seemingly happy dogs waiting on a forever home at the shelter. But just a few months ago, their futures were uncertain.
This is Faith. She's the one that was confiscated, starving to death with her 5 puppies.
Without mom on short chains, couldn't even get into her dog house. Total of 7 puppies. One of them had been kicked, according to a veterinarian, and it was dead.
So her's a good girl. She's gonna be loved. And this is one of her puppies running loose.
That's one of our puppies?
Yes. They're 6, 7 months old now, and they were itty bitty when we found them, and they were eating on their siblings to survive.
Colbert County Animal Control Officer Anthony Wilbanks says the dogs were doing whatever they could to stay alive when he seized them and got them the medical attention they needed.
They've been weeks without food.
And this is the case that went kind of like nationwide?
It is viral, basically. We get lots of questions about it. The inquirers ask about it. We've had a lot of people call and ask about these dogs.
Today they're going to
Caesar's Head, in which we are meeting in about 4.5 hours.
Despite regaining their health, the animal shelter is unable to put them up for adoption because of the ongoing investigation, thus adding to the shelter's overcrowding issues.
As of right now inside this office, we have a total of 6 animal cruelty cases that are open. And we got 9 cases in Colbert County right now that are active animal cruelty.
Wilbanks says all the cases are similar in neglect and poor health of the animals.
What's been going on?
Same old, man, wide open.
He says many of the seized animals come from repeat offenders.
It's frustrating because we work all these cases, spend all these hours, and they slap them on the hand and pretty much turn them loose.
Wilbanks worries about their ability to control the issue if the laws are not strengthened. He says it will take citizens to help make the change.
What do we need to do as a community to help you do what you've been doing, trying to do?
They need to get more involved, start calling us and helping out, keep an eye out, letting us know what's going on before they get in a bad situation. They could lobby their local congressman and say, look, we need stiffer animal laws in the state of Alabama. Till we get some help from higher up in the legislature or whatever, it's never gonna happen. Got one this past week, had somebody drop the bulldog in our outdoor pen. Back foot was eaten off due to a wire wrapped on. He had chewed his own foot off to get the wire off, so we've got him at Dr. Cobb with an amputation. Got one in Tuscumbia, had a flea collar embedded in its neck. They did an emergency surgery last Saturday night to get the collar out of its neck. That's what we're dealing with every day here. It's just something. The little dog that SAA got a hold of, Sheba, because they said that dog had been severely kicked in the head, or what you know about that one. So,
right.
Yeah.
Are these people getting...
Oh yeah, they're getting slapped on the hand and turned out, man. We've got to get some stricter laws.
So it's pretty much a small fine for animal cruelty.
It is. Most of the time, their lawyers do a plea bargain before we ever get involved, and it's $200 or $300 fine. It's slap on the hand, say, hey, you can't have a dog for 2 years. Within 2 or 3 weeks, they're living with some girl, or they've got a dog tramp down, it's their kids or their wives, it doesn't belong to them. See, it's a never-ending battle. So our legislatures are going to have to help us do that. If our congressmen people don't get involved and the community don't get involved, we're wasting our time.
Well, we're going to do something about that, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thank you for what you do and all that you do.
I mean, you do a lot of good work for us too. Thank you.
For those who don't know who you are, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Judie Nichols. I'm the director here at the Colbert County Animal Shelter.
It's been 1 year now since our last puppy mill incident with the Yorkies. Have we experienced anything like that ever since?
We have not had another incident of a local puppy mill. There probably still are some puppy mills, and we still investigate every complaint. So, because if there is one, eventually we'll find it.
Do you know whatever happened with that lady?
She did sometimes serve some jail time. She did that on the weekends, and she paid some court costs. She paid us $1,000, probably around $1,100 in restitution.
Okay, but she didn't spend that much time.
No.
Okay. So what we need to do as a community is to be aware, and
we've got some good laws here in Alabama. We need better enforcement.
Okay.
We need cooperation from all entities, police departments, the legal system, the courts, the lawyers, the DAs, it takes everybody. Animal cruelty is not taken seriously enough, even with the laws. We have the laws to do things. We just, once it's to the next step, maybe court, the judge, it goes into the judge's hands. It just needs to be taken a little more seriously. I realize jails are overcrowded, and maybe that might have a factor in it, but a lot of people who do things to animals or cruel to animals, the next step is people. A lot of people who do things to animals or cruel to animals, the next step is people.
And I know you'll find your freedom eventually.
Like 20 minutes to go to get there. What made me get involved?
yeah.
I guess just a love of animals. I've always just kind of collected the strays and spayed and neutered and vetted them and found them homes or kept them. I got Cowboy and a few others from the shelter, and I realized the need there, and so I started volunteering and doing things there, working at events. And it came a time in my life when my boys were grown where I could do it, focus on it. So I started going every day, and then as I went every day and see more of the need for rescue, I decided to focus on rescue. Because rescue is what's saving them by, the dozens in the South, because up north has spay and neuter laws, so they don't have puppies. So we can send all these beautiful little puppies that didn't ask to be here that would have died in our shelters because we can't put that many out there in the population. So we really need to find a way to control the population, the pet population in the South. So,
What are other cities doing in our state that are working?
well, Auburn is the only one I've got close ties with, and I know that they license their pets, and if you pay your property taxes and you don't have a license and show that you have a spayed or neutered pet with a shot, spit it, record, you pay a higher fee. If you do, it's a much lower fee. And everybody's going to pay property taxes, so everybody goes to the property tax desk at that one time a year, and that's the perfect time to do it. So I feel like we need to really push spay and neuter laws across Alabama, especially counties like Colbert and Lauderdale that have so much rural area, because we have so many county animals coming in with puppies by the dozens every week. I guess we got to start with education, in my opinion. And one of the ways that we're talking about doing it right now is going into schools, churches even, where you have a group of children who love animals, because still at that age, all they just love them. So we need to teach them the proper way to, to take care of them and to vet them and prevent diseases. And people don't realize that spay and neuter prevents a good portion of diseases that kill dogs. So by spaying and neutering, they prevented that, which is going to give their animals longevity. They're going to get to keep their animals longer. So many dead dogs on the highways and roads, especially during breeding season, which in the South, our breeding season is a lot longer than it would be in other places because of our temperate weather. If you'll notice, one of the things that we see a lot is that most animals on the highway are dead males that were never neutered, who are too focused on breeding to be able to be that smart dog that they normally would be, and that's how they get killed by cars. They're too busy trying to find that scent. So, if you neutered your dog, they don't have that inclination to go out there and find it, especially if you do it when they're young. Shoals Animal Advocates. Stephanie, Cheryl, and I work very closely together, and I have never been more proud to be part of a group than I am with them. Being with them, they're amazing.
This van that you're driving now to transport 22 dogs.
Yes.
From Birmingham, right?
Yes. Rebecca Harshman at Alabama Rescue Relay. They are amazing. They do many trips every month. They save countless lives, and when she found out I needed a vehicle for 22, she said I could use her van today. So, thank you, Becky. We love you.
And it's a 2-hour drive down to Birmingham.
It
And
is.
Cheryl Jones drove with you last night to
Pick it up. And now a 4-hour trip today and back, so and then we'll have to take it back to Birmingham. So about 16 hours of driving completely round trip. But hey, 22 lives saved.
Seems like you have been in this rescue business for a while now. For how long?
18 years. May will be 19 years.
Wow. So you've probably seen it all. So.
Yeah, but you know what? Every day comes with a new surprise. Yeah. I still get shocked at the treatment of animals. I still get shocked at how some people can do certain things. Yes, absolutely, it still shocks me. Well, when I first started, we didn't register. We didn't have to register.
Right.
We were just on the books. Yes, we helped get a lot started. Obviously, there's a few rescues before me that helped me get started because I seen a need and I seen, if something had to be done. And I had a lot of guidance from a lot of different other rescues. Yes, and now today I am also passing that on, helping other people get rescues started.
What advice would you give to the younger generation who will find a passion for animal rescue?
Oh my goodness, definitely go with your passion. If your passion is rescuing animals, just embrace it wholeheartedly. And we give it our all.
Yes.
We give it our all plus some. There's been many nights where I am mentally exhausted, but I will get up the next day and I will do it all over again.
Because it means saving lives.
Yes, this is a real commitment. This is not some, it's not a phase, and people need to realize, this you're in this for the long haul.
Yes.
And for those that go through the phase, if you will, I feel sorry for them because they're missing out on this.
Yeah.
They're missing out on this wonderful, I mean, she's an absolute doll. And for her to have to go through anything in her short life already is heartbreaking. It is absolutely heartbreaking. She looks like my Caesar, for which my organization was founded. My Caesar, he was a blue pit bull who was very, very abused. And that was when I seen, wow, something needs to be done. You know, I found this puppy that was so abused, and I seen her online last night and I said, oh my goodness, she looks just like my Caesar. So, you know, I mean, it's okay.
Do you guys have a pet population problem like we do?
Up north, I know we have the education and the resources to spay and neuter.
Yes.
We absolutely do. Down in the south, I think that's lacking. I'm saying that people don't realize that spaying and neutering the animals is very healthy and beneficial for the animal. We understand that there are breeders. We understand there are responsible breeders. This pup is not from a responsible breeder. This pup is just from somebody who just didn't care enough. And the mama is dead. No, I don't think we have that problem. And we've been lucky enough to have the Lake County and the McHenry County Animal Control not have to euthanize for a long time. And obviously that's through networking. That's through word of mouth. That's just, it's just getting everybody working together.
We got to pull together. That's why I told him today, I said one of my biggest goals is getting in the forefront of this, not coping with this problem day to day, week to week, but getting in the forefront, getting out there and getting spay and neuter a big thing, getting the education, making people understand why it's important to spay and neuter. And if you want to become no-kill or low-kill or whichever way you want to call those shelters, it takes the whole community.
Absolutely.
It takes everybody doing their part, spaying and neutering their pets, helping with the rescue, transport money to get them out of there, helping your neighbor if they can't help their dog.
Absolutely.
It takes a little bit of everything. So, and that's a really big goal for us to step up the education, and that's what we've been talking about. So we've got to find ways to do that.
Education is key. Knowledge is key. I mean, it's just the most important thing, and if you realize how important it is to spay and neuter, and if you educate yourself, you're going to say, wow, I love my dog. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give my dog that.
You want your baby to stay your baby.
Exactly.
You don't want it to have to be the mom.
Exactly. You are exactly right, I think it was Hardin County. Somebody had turned in a litter of Great Pyrenees to the animal control, and they had the mom with them. And I said, oh, okay, great. And I said, okay, we'll spay the mom for you.
Right.
Free, no charge. Free spay, rabies. We will do it out of our pocket. They refuse. They said they don't believe in that.
And that is a big problem in the South. We face that a lot.
So it boils down to education.
Yes, it does. It always backs up to education again. So.
Absolutely, yes. Education and knowledge, yes.
Angela has graciously met me today to pick up the confiscated dogs from the Reverend case. That would be Faith and her 4 pups, and the one that was abandoned with her pups. Anyway, there were 6 pups originally. 1 starved to death, and the other pups survived by eating on their sibling. Nobody has really come forward interested in adopting them down there. They're chocolate lab and possibly pit mix. We know that. But Angela didn't care. All she seen was pups in need, and when she found out that I could bring them to rescue, she was more than willing to set this up in days and meet me here. We need more people like her that's willing to help us get these confiscated dogs out so they're not a statistic, because that's what would have happened. We would have won them in court, and then they would have lived in the shelter until death. And because they have a chance of life. So,
definitely.
So it's really thrilling, I'm so excited that you're getting them to take them. So.
Oh, I'm excited to start working with them.
Well, we're going to do follow-ups.
Uh-huh.
This is the story is amazing, and it continues, and sometimes there are days we want to give up. We feel like we can't take it anymore. So what keeps you going? Is it rewarding?
I was just say, how do you say no to that?
This, she's trimming my nails for me. She's kissing me. She's like, this.
She reminds you
of puppy breath.
Caesar.
She reminds me of my Caesar.
How it all started, and today we're ending with a reminder of Caesar and what you are able to accomplish over and over again. And you're setting a really wonderful example for a lot of people.
Yes, she is.
Thank you.
And,
I'm trying, and I'm going to keep trying.
Thank you.
I hope I do.
So
Yes.
it's an overwhelming feeling.
And unfortunately, the Reverend case is not, it's not just
not
isolated. But
So
it's not
what-
isolated. It goes on all the time. And, you know, I mean, you go on Facebook and you go on here, you go on there, and you see dogs abused and
Neglected.
neglected.
Yeah,
and
because
just,
that's what this started as, is
I know,
neglect. And it
neglect.
became such an abusive situation, you know, that it had to go further. This cruelty, I mean, it's cruel.
Right.
There's
Not feeding your dog is abuse.
And when you have a knee propped down on a puppy and there's no stomach, there's nothing in the stomach,
Right.
then it's been weeks. Yeah, it's time to do something.
Exactly.
So, and that's why this is going forward. And so we hope this brings forward legislation on cruelty laws. And,
Absolutely.
And us being able to get the word out there on spay and neuter, because if she'd have been spayed, those puppies wouldn't have starved to death.
Exactly.
If they had just simply did that first step, we'd have had one dog to rescue.
Yes.
Instead of a bunch.
Exactly.
So, and that's
Exactly.
so we're hoping this hero taking the time to do
Absolutely.
this with us will get the word out for
Yes.
a lot of different purposes.
Definitely.
Well, we can't do it without people like you.
We
So
can't
thank
do it without you either.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Well, it takes a network.
That's right,
And I'm glad
absolutely.
we're all working together and we're all on the same side.
Missing.
And who's she?
This is Sue Manny. She is the vice president of our organization.
Oh, she's important.
She is important.
She is important. I made her come down with me.
She's the one that controls her taking. Am I right?
Yeah, she tries. She's like, and how many are we getting? And I'm like, just a few.
Where are they going?
And where are they going? And how many are we getting?
Got a big hurt, but
She does. Well, we know that
Yeah,
problem.
well, we have the fosters now, so we're okay.
Fosters are
The foster homes.
amazing. I love our fosters. They make it happen for us.
Don't take my baby.
I think her name needs to be Heaven,
Heaven, there you
because
go.
you had Caesar.
Heaven. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's kind of, that is so cool.
I love it.
I might do that. I might actually do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make her cry. Look
no,
at
just
her.
shut up.
I'm born, I'm bred, I'm changing my direction instead. My heart, my head, my reasoning is complicated. I'm born, I'm bred, I'm changing my direction instead. My heart, my head, my reasoning is complicated.
Are vaccinations important?
Absolutely.
Vaccinations
Most
are
important thing you can do when they walk in the door of a shelter.
Absolutely. That should be first and foremost.